Hi friends, it's Daphne, your smart shopper. Okay, so I don't know if you've heard of the term super cooling your home, but it is a very interesting concept that keeps your home cool and saves you a ton of money when it comes to this electric bill. It's a new concept to me. I'm actually trying it at my house and I want to share it with you guys, but I want to share it to such the extreme that I'm actually talking to Kent, who is with APS, and he's going to share this concept. He's super excited about it. He's an engineer and he swears by it. So Kent, can you first of all explain to me what the concept is of supercooling your home and why it will save us money regardless of whether we're APS or SRP customers?
So supercooling or pre-cooling is exactly what it sounds like. It's cooling your home in advance of a period in time. So APS and SRP both have rates or pricing plans that have an on-peak period and an off-peak period. The on-peak period has higher priced electricity during that time frame because it's an electric rush hour. Lots and lots of demand on the system. But if you can shift your usage off-peak, you can save a ton of money.
Okay.
AC usage, cooling your home represents the largest driver of electric costs during the summer. And so pre-cooling or supercooling in advance of that on-peak period uses electricity when it is cheap and saves you money.
Okay, so explain to me like in real term concept of how it would apply. So let's say, for example, let's just use me as an example. So I'm on the Choice Saver program. Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. are my high peak hours. So I really want to be using the least amount of electricity.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so what does supercooling mean? Like, what do? We take our house down to 60 degrees? Like, explain to me in real term.
Yeah, turn your temperature down 3 or more degrees in advance of that time period. Could be depending on what you're comfortable with and depending on what your living style is like. So if you're not home, we have customers who actually turn their temperature down into the 60s degrees range.
Okay.
Really cold because they're not there, but it keeps them from using energy when it's really expensive and during that 3 to 8 time frame.
Okay.
For me, I have my family home during the day, so I can't go that cold. So I drop my temperature 5 degrees in advance of the peak. I let the house get down to that temperature. It's your walls, your countertops, all that gets down to that temperature and prevents you from using during that 3 to 8 on-peak period.
Okay, got it. So go ahead.
So at 10 a.m., turn your temperature down, and then at 3 p.m., turn it back up to a comfortable amount, whatever works for you and your family.
Okay, so what I do is I keep my temperature in the house because I work at home a lot. So I keep it at 81, which is very cold for me. I have a small house, and when the AC's on, I'm freezing. So I'm actually wearing a sweater at 81. I know that's crazy. So I keep it at that outside of those peak hours. Then when it's from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., I turn it all the way up, the temperature, to 90 degrees. And during those hours, my AC unit never kicks on. So that's like basically the concept of it.
That's exactly right.
Okay, what about on the weekends? Because if you're on like a Saver Choice plan like what I have, the weekends, we're in low hours. So I'm not really needing to supercool it.
Yeah, so the weekends are the same price throughout the entire day for electricity. So just keep your temperature at the right temperature for you and your family.
Okay, so just leave it at that. And you will absolutely save a lot of money.
You will save a lot of money supercooling.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so one last thing. So I've had a lot of debate with this with some friends, and we've talked about it. They're like, no, that's ridiculous. Making your house super cold, it's like, why do that? And be uncomfortable in your house, and then for 5 or 6 hours, you're heating things up. But the whole purpose is supercooling is going to cool down everything in your house, right?
That's right.
Okay.
It's about cooling down all the mass in your house, your countertops, your floors, your cabinets, everything. And so what that does is then as your temperature rises, kind of like if you think about your refrigerator, you open the doors and the air might escape, but when you close the doors, all the stuff in there is at that temperature. Supercooling works the same way, where it makes the strain on your AC to keep at a comfortable temperature through that 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. on peak period. It makes that AC work a lot less.
Right, and usually on peak, it depends on the rates and the plan that you're at, but on peak, meaning your most expensive, you're paying over double the amount per kilowatt. When you're off peak, you're paying a fraction of that. So huge savings. So basically, you're getting the energy for nothing during off peak. So just use your energy as much as you can, and then try and stop using energy when the rates are really, really high.
You got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, one other thing, I noticed that you have this little thermometer in your hand, and then we'll let people go. There's actually a lot of people listening on this. Okay, so this is one of those smart thermometers. You really want to use these if you can, right? This
That's
is a
right.
really good investment.
So this is a smart thermostat, and this is what we generally recommend when you do your pre-cooling or supercooling.
Okay.
You can actually just use a programmable thermostat, which are only about $16, so it doesn't cost a lot of money to do this. But adopting something or picking up a thermostat that is smart may give you some additional features as well, including being able to change the temperature on your phone. So,
Okay, I love it. Well, I have one of those. They're fantastic. Okay, Kent, I super appreciate your time, and I appreciate you educating us all on this. So, folks, I will have all the information and all the links because both APS and SRP have these wonderful articles on how to really do it, and depending on the plan that you have and which company you're with. So just head over to my blog in just a little bit at smartshopperdaphne.com. I always appreciate your time. Have a fantastic Tuesday, and don't forget, I'm Daphne Monroe, your smart shopper.